What's going on, guys? Neil from the Sky Blue View here, back with another tier list video. This time, it's that time of year, lots of rumours about, we're going to look at the squad for Coventry City. I've got all the players there and who I think should stay, go, and all that sort of good stuff. I've already filled in, you'll see, some under 23 players who are going to be under 23s regardless. I've got key players, first team squad, under 23s, loan out, sell, release. I've got a big squad at the minute, so let's go through them. First and foremost, Jamie Allen, I think definitely part of the first team squad. Nearly went out at the end of last season, been integral this season, really good player. Wilbur Parga, I think we should loan out. Young player, went to Grimsby this year, didn't work out. Needs to get out and get another loan. Ben Wilson, definitely part of the first team squad, as is Jay Bidwell. Tom Bilson. Now, I'd loaned Bilson out. He went out on loan to Scunthorpe, got injured, didn't quite work out. So I reckon he deserves another one. Danny Cashman, I want to see him play in the 23s. He was on loan at Rochdale, didn't quite work out. I want him to get the Tavares treatment and really get going. Jake Clark-Salter, he's not ours, he's Chelsea's out of contract. I think we should do everything to sign him. Been phenomenal this season. Dabo, again, he's one of our key players, so he's definitely sticking around. Julian DaCosta, he's out on loan at the minute, get him gone. Don't care what cost, get him gone. Dean Garner, another young lad, who I think we should get out on loan and get some first team experience. Good right winger from Ireland, see what he's about. Declan Drysdale, I think time's up with Dec. He's had a couple of loans, hasn't worked out. He won League Two with Cambridge, so I can see him going to a League Two side. Josh Eccles, first team player all day long. Really lucky with injuries if we can keep him fit. I think he's a key part of the first team next year. McFadzean, key player, been skipper for most of this season. And there's an argument he should have the armband next year. Matty Godden, if he stays fit, we're a playoff side. I've said it. Bookmark this. I'm recording this on the 9th of May. Matty Godden stays fit, we get playoffs. Hamer, same as, what a player. Just needs to be a little bit more disciplined and we'll be good. As long as we resist the bids for him, we'll be alright. Ryan Howley. Now I want to see Ryan go out on loan. If he's not going to be integrated in the first team squad, I wouldn't want him going out, to a Walsall or a Tranmere or Gillingham League Two. Get some minutes. Big strapping midfielder, I think he'll do well. Dom Hoyle, key player, future captain, club legend, 100%. Now Jody was going to go in the South release, but I'm going to put him on loan out. Now if I was Mark Robbins, what I'd be doing, Jody's out of contract, we've got an option to extend that by a year. If I was Mark Robbins, I'd give him the year and I'd loan him out to a League One side until Christmas. Get some minutes into his belt, get some fitness, get some confidence, and then reassess it in January. If he comes back and he's firing fit, he's confident, integrate him in the squad because there's a player there. If it doesn't work out, cut your losses, sell him in January, shake hands, move on, all the best. Todd Kane. Now, Todd Kane only came in August, September, and for most of the season, I'd say first team squad. I'd be a bit controversial here. Hi Todd, I love him, I think he's brilliant, but when you've got Dabo firing again, Eccles as a backup right wing back, I don't think we need a third one. So I think Todd could see his way out the door. This is probably going to be one of the most controversial ones I do. Leon Kelly, I think it's time. He's been brilliant for us. Signed him, when we were down in League Two. Been there for the 2 promotions. Been very injury prone and ill this season with COVID. I think it's time that we move on. If we want to progress as a club, I think it's time Cows moves on. If we don't sell him or release him, I'd love to see him involved in the backroom staff because he's been a massive part of the club the last few years. Ian Matson, we won't get him back, but if we could, key player, phenomenal this season, and I believe he goes to a European club on loan this year. If not, he's integrated in and around Chelsea's squad. Brilliant player. I'd do anything to have him back. Ngandu, under 23s captain. I think he's getting to the point now. He's had a loan out in Iceland. I think an EFL loan could really, really suit him. Get him out, get him some experience and see what happens from there. I don't think under 23s football's doing anything for him. If you look at him physically, he's a massive kid compared to the rest of them. So get him out, get him some playing some football. Callum O'Hare, key player, 100%. As long as we can keep hold of him, is the first name on the team sheet. Josh Pask, he's that contract at the end of the year. He's been on loan at Newport. Think Josh is gone. Good job he owns a removals company because he's going to be needing them to get his stuff out of Brighton. Josh Reed, I think Josh deserves a loan. He's looked tidy the couple of times I've seen him play for the under-23s. I'd quite like to see him go out on loan and build something. If we can't get Matson back, then I think he does get integrated into the first team squad. We've got Bidwell who can play left wing back, and I think really can possibly in there too. If we don't go out and look to sign the left wing back, that will be another video where I look at potential signings, and I think that's one area that we definitely need to strengthen. Michael Rose. Now, Michael Rose, I think, is definitely a first team player. However, if we need to generate funds this summer, I'd prefer we sell him over O'Hare, Hamer, etc. I think mid-20s is knocking at the door for a Scotland call-up, linked with the likes of Southampton and Palace. I think we could get a good 4 or 5 million for him, which I think is brilliant value since we signed him for a pittance from Ayr. So if we need to get money, I think that's where it comes from. But I'm going to put him in first team squad because I think he's been brilliant this season. Scored some important goals. Reading, Fulham, Birmingham, all away from home that come on top of my head. Vital goals at vital times. So yeah, I like Michael Rose. Ben Sheaf, key player. What an improvement that kid's had this season. It's been phenomenal, and I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet next year. Jordan Shipley, it's already been announced. Shippers is going. I was at Stoke on Saturday. His last game, he cried when he came off. At the end of the game, the other players pushed him to the front so we could get the adulation of the fans. This is my official put on record. Thank you, Jordan Shipley. You lived the dream. You signed when you were 7. You've gone all the way through the academy. You've played for the first team. You scored a goal in a winning game at Wembley to get us promoted. Hats off to you, sir. You'll always be welcome back at Cov, and I'll keep an eye on whatever you do. Thank you, Jordan Shipley. Simon Moore, key player. He's had a couple of shaky games this season, but I genuinely think he's our first choice goalie. Ben Wilson's been brilliant in the last few games, but I think that's just because Simon's been a little bit tired. But I think Simon Moore's the first name on the team sheet next year. Tav, I want to see Tavares in and around the first team. I want him to be our fourth choice striker. I think we should bring another striker in, but I think Tav should be our fourth choice striker. Taylor will be our under 23/3rd choice goalie, I believe, unless he moves on. There was rumours of linking him with a move to Brighton, I believe, but if not, he sticks around in the 23s. Big Vic Gyökeres, 18 league goals this season, could have had 30. It's only going to come with time. It's only going to come with confidence. He's a young lad still. He's going to score us goals. And if we're serious about being a playoff chasing side, this is the man. Mike Horn, I still think he's got a lot to offer. He's had a very tough season. He had a bad couple of injuries at bad times, but I think he's got a lot to offer. The last few games, I think he's played really well. So I'd like to see Wagwan stick around. Again, if we need to free up that space and that salary for a striker coming in, then I think it's him on the chopping block, as well as Mr. Tyler Walker, who I never want to see in a Coventry shirt again. I may have been a bit harsh there, but his body language does nothing for me. He was a top goal scorer last season, scored 2 and 2 this year. Some may think I've been a bit harsh, but the games I've watched him, I'm just not convinced. I'm a firm believer that some players suit clubs, and I don't think Tyler Walker suits ours. Hasn't worked out for him down at Pompey. I think it's best for all parties if he moves on. I can see him getting a League One move and scoring bags of goals, and then everyone coming back to this video saying in the comment section down below, calling me out. But hey, that's football for you, isn't it? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. drop a comment down below. Let me know who you agree with and who you don't. But this is what I'll do with the Coventry City first team squad next season. Appreciate the support as always. Drop us a like, subscribe down below, and play up Sky Blue.